Black Ops 6 isn't 300 gigs. And Modern Warfare 3 isn't 200 gigs. And Warzone isn't 120 gigs. Okay, well that one maybe. It's a little confusing there. We'll get to it. Regardless, every time a new Call of Duty game comes out, people think they're making the games even bigger. And this is deceptive because, yes, the games take up more space on your system, but there's something we can do about it. Let's take a look at what you're getting when you download COD. Now, I'll be using the games that are available on Xbox Game Pass. Not sponsored. Just because that's what I have access to. All right, so let's break this down. The launcher itself, we're gonna call that the base game. That's about 20 gigs, which does seem a little bit big for your normal launcher, so I'm gonna assume that this is including a bunch of stuff like animations, logos, gun models, and stuff that, all the games use. I don't know, I'm making this all up as I go along. Now let's look at the games themselves. There's Modern Warfare 3, which is comprised into two different parts. We have the campaign, which seems to take up about 40 gigs, and then there's the multiplayer, which seems to take up about 80 gigs. So the whole game for Modern Warfare 3, if we include the launcher, that's about 140 gigs right there, right? Okay, now let's go down to Black Ops 6. Both the campaign and multiplayer are sitting at about 60 gigs. So that with the launcher, that roughly matches what we were going up here with 120 gigs for everything all together. Now, moving on to Warzone. That's where it gets confusing. If we pop over to the Blizzard launcher, we can see under Modern Warfare, that comes with Warzone 2.0. And then every other game after seems to come with its own version of Warzone. You can see here's the Warzone for Black Ops 6. You can see it is about 70 gigs. So, I don't know what's really going on here, but let's assume that there's a combined experience for Warzone here. So let's say the overall Warzone experience is about 120 gigs, give or take. So if we slap Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 6, and Warzone all together, we get a whopping 380 gigs of experience right there. And granted, these are just the games on Game Pass. I don't even have access to any of the other games like Modern Warfare, and Google says that holds the record with a whopping 235 gigs required to install. Which I can't imagine is accurate because both Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 6 combined together, there's only a 5 gig difference in those numbers. But I can't say for sure because I don't have the first Modern Warfare. Okay, so there's been an update. I have a buddy of mine that does have the first Modern Warfare remake. And he says that the campaign is about 17 gigs, Spec Ops is 9 gigs, Survival is 2 gigs, and just multiplayer is about 120 gigs. Now, personally, I think this is all kind of cool. I think this could potentially be a future where we look for where the game launchers themselves are the game engines and game releases essentially end up becoming little DLCs that you drop into the game engine that you're hosting. So if the Call of Duty launcher housed all of the basic assets, like all of the gun models and, all of the vegetation and, characters and all of that other kind of stuff, then you could have relatively small packets that are the new campaigns for the new games, because you essentially just need animations, cutscenes, maybe additional maps or something like that. Could be cool. But now that we've broken down what's going on there with Call of Duty, we can do something about it. Go into your settings, I'm going to show you on Game Pass, and you can just uncheck what you don't need installed anymore. Did you play the Modern Warfare 3 campaign? Uncheck it. You don't need it anymore. If you want to download it again, your save data is just going to be stored in the cloud anyway. So, don't want to play the multiplayer for Black Ops 6 right now? Turn it off. Just play the campaign. There you go. Call of Duty 60 gigs on your computer now. You're welcome. Why did this have to be the first video I put out for the new year? Why couldn't I make something cool? Meaningful. I knew I should have stayed in clown college.
At least then people wouldn't be wondering why I'm wearing a pink robe.